On the morning of June 18th, Justin Ross Harris says he and his son Cooper ate breakfast at Chick-fil-A. Investigators say only 30 or 40 seconds after Ross left that restaurant, he would have had to have decided whether to turn to go to his son's daycare or to keep going to work. Did this man really forget his son was in the car in 40 seconds or less? It took an HLN producer less than 2 minutes to recreate Ross's drive from that restaurant to where he did go, his office at Home Depot Corporate. During that drive, Ross likely would have had to have turned right to look over his shoulder, meaning the boy's car seat would have entered his field of vision at least 3 times. Cops say the boy's car seat was only about 6 inches behind Ross's seat and in the middle of the back seat, making it even more visible.
Now, this is a case that really is affecting us all with this hot car death. We certainly know that in 2013, there were 44 hot car deaths. And this year alone, 17 children dying in hot cars. And this particular story is very gripping. And, of course, I'm here with Mike Brooks, our law enforcement analyst, to talk about it. Mike, I just want you to walk us through exactly what we know at this particular time.
You know, this animation is fantastic. But we look at this case. You look at the picture of this little boy. But we look at the animation. He left Chick-fil-A. The surveillance video showed that about 9:19, he puts little Cooper in his car seat, facing backwards, straps him in. Then he goes to his work. Now, we see where he parked the car. He parked the car on the top of the lot and out in direct sunlight. Then, a little bit later, he leaves the office and he drives to the movie theater. Then all of a sudden, oh my God, my son's in the car. But I've got some real problems with this. First of all, you know, he straps him in, he gives him a kiss. Then it's a short drive, less than 0.6 of a mile, to the parking lot. And he's supposed to drop little Cooper off at the Little Apron Academy, but he backs into the space. He's the last one on the end. And my question is that where he normally parks? That's going to be part of the investigation. Now, law enforcement has already gone back, and they've done a recreation of this also. So at 4:16, Ross leaves work, and he begins to drive to the movie theater. But at 4:01, he calls his wife. It was a 1-minute call. Did he reach her? Did he not? Then it shows him leaving.
You know, Mike, that boggles me, just to stop right there for 1 second, because it not only implicates him, right? We know that there's conduct here, which you're not buying the story about accident for sure, but I think a lot of viewers are concerned about the wife, about her involvement. And when you mention, Mike, that 1-minute phone call, the issue becomes, what did they talk about? Was it a conspiracy? At that point, would he have said something to his wife regarding the child?
If anything. But the whole thing is, what is the normal routine here? This is what law enforcement wants to know, and that's what they can get through all the computer records, through the cell phone records. That's what they're going through right now. But one of the things that because that's the whole thing. What is the normal routine when he takes little Cooper to the Little Apron Academy? Now, he gets in his car at 4:16, all right? He gets in. Yeah, he leaves for work. He's going to the theater. Now, 4:20. All of a sudden, a few minutes later, less than 2 miles from his work, he stops and says, oh, my God, my son's in the car. You're going to tell me, because of the heat that was inside that car and what witnesses have said about the odor in that car, that he didn't know that? I'm not buying that story, Jerry.
Well, I think that's why it's a problem, Mike, because certainly, even forgetting about, for 1 second, the car being in the child being in the back seat, what do? The first thing when we go to our cars, especially if in the summer, we roll the windows down.
Absolutely, especially when your car's been sitting in direct sunlight for almost 7 hours. And remember, he came out to the car at lunchtime. Remember? He went with his buddies. He went to lunch. Then they went to the Home Depot to get some light bulbs. And then he threw the light bulbs in the car. Then he went back in. But remember what happened when he was going back in? Somebody was coming out. He stopped, took a look over, said, okay, then he proceeded into the building.
Mike, the animation that we saw initially, I want to take a look at that one more time. So take us through this. You see the animation here as far as what goes on, right?
Yes,
and look at that.
A mile from Chick-fil-A to the work.
And, Mike, that's a problem. If it's 0.6 miles, right, a sixth of a mile, the issue is, would you really, during that time period, forget that you left your child in the car? And a lot of people are having an issue with overcoming that.
And Joey, you and I did a recreation in a car similar to that, a little bit older model, but still, how tightly cramped it was inside that car. And even with a rear-facing car seat, there's no way, no how, that Ross Harris did not see that little boy.
And, Mike, briefly, I know the investigation's continuing and everyone's innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
You know, I don't want to condemn him too much, although the actions certainly seem unreasonable, unjust at this point from what we know. But what's your thoughts regarding his wife, what she knew, when she knew it, and whether law enforcement will implicate her and charge her with the district attorney's office?
Well, you know, with the statement that came out through her attorney the other day with Mr. Zimmerman, it seems as if she, Leanne Harris, is trying to distance herself from Ross because she is not mentioned at all in that statement.
Right.
You know, in some of the statements she made when they were in the room together, in the interrogation room together, and law enforcement was watching, did you say too much? That really bothers me.
Mike, do you think there'll be other information beyond that that's gleaned? I'm sure that you're, you know,
Absolutely.
There's got to be, whether
Absolutely.
it's text messages, emails, something's there.
This investigation is far from over.